I should probably turn up our live stream. I didn't do that. I apologize if you are watching this on YouTube. Like I said, you can go ahead and watch any of these as well as previously recorded games right down on our YouTube channel. Just search for Power 96 Albert Lea, and it'll pop up right there, and you can go ahead and rewatch or re-listen actually to this broadcast as well as our other Tiger Sports Saturdays. But yeah, Monday we will be having boys varsity hockey, like I said, against New Ulm. Girls basketball is going to be home that night as well against Faribault. That's at 7:30. Tuesday night, it looks like some basketball, boys at Southwest Middle School versus Austin Ellis Middle School. It looks like that's at 4:15 on Tuesday. 4:30, 7th grade, will play Mankato East. So that's Thursday. Thursday night, hockey, boys JV. We'll be up at over at Winona Senior High, and then of course varsity will be at 7:15 over at Winona as well. There will be wrestling as well on Thursday, as it looks like it's a co-ed varsity match. That'll be at the Albert Lea High School versus Rochester Mayo. You also have swim and dive that night as well for boys varsity, and that is up in Northfield. 5:30 on Thursday. You also have MVL, so Minnesota Valley Lutheran, I believe. That's what I remember them as. It just says MVL. And that is in Albert Lea at 5:30. That's the 9A. And then girls basketball is going to be away Thursday night as they are up in Owatonna. And then from there, Friday, just getting into, like I said, next week or into Friday. Looks like you got swim and dive for boys. That's going to be in Northfield. Basketball, JV at Albert Lea. And varsity at Albert Lea against John Marshall Rockets. But the girls, they'll have to travel over to Rochester to face them on Friday night. Saturday, it looks like dance again is going to be up in Northfield. Swim and dive at Rochester. And that's what we have coming up this week in Tiger Sports. Of course, like I said, waiting to hear on the sections. So from what I've been able to find on the sections, as it does look like first game will be Wednesday the 4th. From what I have been told, or hearsay, is that the Tigers more than likely will have a bye that evening. If they don't, then they will have to play. But from what I've heard, it sounds like they will get a bye. That'll be the Wednesday. But then Saturday, the 7th, that could be a possible home game or an away game for the Lady Tigers. And once again, Power 96, I know, depending on what time it is. I think last year I think it was like early afternoon. So I would assume it would probably be very similar this year. And that will be on the air. And then it looks like the section championship will be up in Owatonna on Thursday, the 12th. So, like I said, just keep it tuned in here to 96.1 FM or go to our Facebook. We do have a brand new Facebook for those people who haven't followed it yet or liked it. Our old one, we kind of got, let's just say we kind of got hacked a little bit, and we were unable to do a lot of things with that. So we had to go and create a new one, and that's why we have it. So if you go to Power 96 on your Facebook, go ahead, you'll see the old one that just has the Power 96, where our new one has it's got the 2 tiger head logos on it. So you can go ahead and check out our new Facebook site. All right, let's get into a little bit here about Hy-Vee and our Hy-Vee happenings. Been looking for some of the people running around here. Kind of busy in here today. Of course, with being cold and possibility of snow, it tends to get a little crazy, right? And so they're out running around today. So not able to see or to talk with them, but I did grab one of their flyers when you first walk in the door. They got a lot of stuff going on here at Hy-Vee. Of course, not only the friendly smile in every aisle, and you walk in, of course, they've got your nice big Frito-Lay display. I think Calder probably helped build that. Because that's right, next weekend is the big game. And folks, if you didn't know, Power 96 also brings that big game. And, of course, that Super Bowl 60 We should know this week as far as what starting times, things like that. We should get that from our affiliate. But we will have the game on our radio. So if you're out driving around, maybe you're working, you need to see what's going on in that game, go ahead and listen here on 96.1 FM. But yeah, they got, it says, save some cheddar here with Hy-Vee. Right now, they've got this 6 to 8 ounce natural cheese. So, like I said, whether it's the shredded or the block of cheeses, 5 for $10. Of course, I know we always appreciate having a couple of those blocks of cheese. If you haven't tried it yet, folks, try the horseradish. It's phenomenal. They do got some Dole chopped or premium salad kits for $2.99. The yogurt, 10 for $10. Pizzas, Tombstone, DiGiorno, Classic Crust, Jack Rising Crust Pizza or Pizza Dippers for $3.99. Pork loin, $1.98. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. Frito-Lays, buy one, get one free on the Frito-Lay Doritos, kettle-cooked Lays, Ruffles, or Tostitos chips. So make sure you get those for the big game as well. And then a meat sale. Friday through Sunday. So it's going on right now. They have ground chuck for $4.98 a pound. You also have, looks like pork loin back ribs for $2.98 a pound. Always great. We'd like to do them in Instapot occasionally. Fantastic. 10 for $10 on their special recipe bratwursts. So get some of those as well. Outside of that, they just got a ton of stuff. Whether you're looking for shrimp, shaved ham, like I said, pork loin, go ahead and get on out here. Get your shopping done here at Hy-Vee. And like I said, walk in, get all your game day favorites. And then also to the left when you walk in, if you didn't know, that's where the floral department is. And that's right, we're technically 2 weeks away from Valentine's Day. And so you might want to get, if you're going to get those flowers ordered, get on in here to Hy-Vee. Get that ordered. Maybe your Valentine doesn't want flowers. Maybe meat and cheese tray. Maybe high chai. I mean, you just don't know. Get everything here at Hy-Vee. I want to take a quick moment to thank our sports boosters, and we're going to take a first break. We'll talk a little bit of Bruins, as well as Dylan Thompson is going to be. He said he's going to be out here today, so it's been a couple weeks since we've talked to him, and we'll see what that lake is doing out there. Maybe you guys are out ice fishing right now, listening to us. So we do appreciate that, but maybe some tips and tricks to help you get a couple extra fish. But our sports boosters, of course, without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and that's bring you local sports on local radio all year long. Of course, Americana Insurance, Bayview Freeborn Funeral Home, Southern Minnesota Branding, On the Spot Appliance, Arcadian Bank, Derek's Preferred Auto in Blooming Prairie, Star Granite Works, GT Window and Door, Gutters by GT, the Austin Bruins, Alpha Orthodontics, Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, Thompson Sanitation, Young Construction and Roofing, Nick's Meats in Hayward, South Main Auto Service in Austin, Freeborn County Solid Waste, North Star Power Sports, which is where Dylan will be coming from, Big Cats Customs in Clarks Grove, the Overhead Door Company, the Albert Lee Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sorensen's Appliance in Geneva, Collins Auto Repair, Hanson Tire Service of Austin, Etc. Credit Union, Marthaler Honda in Owatonna, Design Ready Controls, Hy-Vee in Albert Lee, Jake's Pizza, Shell Rapid Lube, Aero Printing, and Wasika Inc. So thank you again to all of our sports boosters who help make it possible for us to do what we do here, and that is bring you local sports on local radio. We're going to take our first break here, and then we'll be back. You're listening to Tiger Sports Saturday here on Power 96. Just got to go ahead and do a couple things here before we get into this. And there we go. Okay, we'll be right back here again with more Tiger Sports Saturday.
It's my must-go-to farm meeting. That is a statement from an attendee of our annual Ag Summit. Hi, I'm Tom Sorensen, Agency Director of America Insurance Group. The A-Team and I want to invite you to the 26th Annual Ag Summit to be held at Wedgwood Cove in Albert Lea on February 5th at 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We will have an array of presentations and vendor booths, followed by lunch. You will have to RSVP by calling our office at 507-377-2000 or going to our website at americainsurance.com.
The Austin Bruins took 4 points against the Minnesota Mallards at home this weekend with a weekend sweep at Riverside Arena. Now the Bruins head up to Forest Lake for the first time this season for 2 more games on the road against the Minnesota Mallards. Puck drop is 7 o'clock both Friday and Saturday, and you can catch those games on NAHLTV.com or at the official road game destination of your Austin Bruins, Lansing Corners on Highway 218.
The friendly staff at Albert Lee's Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union reminds you that when you're in need of a home that satisfies your financial needs, let Trades and Labor Credit Union make it easy with checking services, debit cards, home equity loans, and savings options that will earn you more for your money. Visit Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union on Albert Lee's friendly south side. Open 6 days a week with social distancing for your safety and theirs. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, providing financial services since 1958.
Save more at Hy-Vee. Earn Fuel Saver rewards on over 1,000 items at your Albert Lee Hy-Vee with your Hy-Vee Perks card. Don't have a card? Sign up today. It's free. Go to Hy-Vee.com/perks.
Hey everybody, this is Jason from Bleacher Sports Bar and Grill in Albert Lee, and we want to thank you for keeping it local on Power 96.
And once again, we're back here live with another edition of Tiger Sports Saturday. I do see Schlachter running around there, but it looks like he's getting everything filled out here. Like I said, kind of busy out here, of course, with the impending weather. From what I've heard, and like I said, and don't correct me if I'm wrong, anywhere from 1 inch to 3 inches tonight through tomorrow. That's kind of what I had heard, but we'll have to see what the weatherman says here in just a little bit. But that's kind of what I've heard. But once again, you can't always trust everything that we hear, especially in today's world. So unless it comes from me, yeah, there you go. Austin Bruins, let's talk a little bit about them. Of course, last night, I can't find the post now. I want to say that they won 7-2. I think that was the final score last night up in Forest Lake. But tonight, the Bruins do it all over again and look to continue their winning ways against the Mallards. Next Saturday, though, February 7th, is Paint the Rink Pink. And pretty excited to go to that game. Of course, Caldy and I were season ticket holders, and we always like to take some friends to that. If you don't have your tickets yet, you need to get them. I think they were like 75% full is what one post that I had seen on there. But all the money raised that night does go to the Hormel Cancer Institute. And I don't know how much money they've raised in total, but every little bit helps. And, of course, last Saturday on the Austin Bruins Insider, David Coyer, Peter Theodos were over. And kind of talked to Dylan Thompson. On my way, perfect. We'll see Dylan here in just a few. But, of course, everything, Paint the Rink Pink. Kind of a big fundraiser, Paint the Town Pink for Austin. And the Bruins 16 years ago decided, hey, let's be part of this. And they actually paint the ice pink. I've not seen it in person. I've heard people talk about it, seen video. So it's, like I said, pretty excited to do that. But not just all pink. This year their jersey's a little different. And they do have stars on their jerseys that kind of represent every type of cancer. So obviously we know pink is the big one for breast cancer. But there's a lot of other variations of that pink as well. I know on my wrist is pink, blue, and yellow, which was my brother's cancer ribbon. You got the white for lung cancer. You've got orange for leukemia. So like I said, on their jerseys this year, it's all the different stars, all the different colors. So we can hopefully fight that terrible disease known as cancer. So get on out to Riverside Arena next weekend, folks. It's going to be a great time raising money to go towards the Hormel Institute there to help fight cancer. Excuse me. Kind of looking at a few other things here throughout last week, of course. We did have Hockey Day on Saturday, just a fantastic turnout. Of course, we went on the air right at 8 o'clock. Caldy and I got there a little bit after 7. I think we ended up dropping Caldy off at like 9, so it was a pretty long day. But a great day of hockey. I know I was asked, do you think it's worth doing what you do all day, sitting at the arena and things like that? Yes, because of the fact that we're giving Alberta Hockey Day the spotlight that it deserves. Out at the arena, I don't know how many people came through this year, of course, not just one day, but you still did the same amount of games because they did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know it's upwards of 5,000 people going through there. Of course, I'm sure Kathy Malakowski will have something for Ron on that. So tune in to the City of Albert Lee Report every Friday with Ron and Kathy Malakowski. Normally Kathy's doing that, and she likes to give little bits of trivia, and that probably will be a question that she will ask Ron. So Ron, if you're listening, get ready for that. But yeah, like I said, fantastic day for the youth. We did have our live stream going, so we had a lot of people watching the youth games. We didn't call the play-by-play on them, but the live stream was on there. So if your kid, your grandkid, neighbor kid, if you want to go and if they played Saturday at all, go ahead and go to our YouTube channel, and you can go ahead and watch that. I know not only did we have a live Austin Bruins Insider that day as well, but we had a special visitor in Mr. Sam McGill. He came up and wanted to hang out with us, and actually he called the JV game for us that day. So, like I said, if you didn't listen to that, Sam did a good job, of course. McGill ended up injuring his knee, MCL, I believe is what it is, and so he's taken a little bit of time off the ice, so he was gracious enough to spend that time with us, and like I said, go check that out. And then, of course, the evening ended with Lady Tiger varsity team not really going their way on that, as Minnesota River didn't really know much about them coming in. Actually ranked pretty high in state, and still just a great game. Didn't go the Lady Tiger way, but boys Tiger they did get a dub that day, and like I said, just a great overall day. A lot of fun, always great times. By the time everything was said and done, my cheeks, they even hurt. There's Mr. Schlachter, he's running around still. But yeah, like I said, my cheeks hurt from laughing and having a good time. So, will we do it again next year? Willing that we get to do it, we'll do it again all over next year. Another big announcement that came up this week, if you are on our Facebook, or maybe you're Facebook friends with the CVB, of course, you can go to explorealbertlee.com and check out everything that they have to offer in the area. But on the 14th, of course, is the Big Freeze, and a lot of stuff going on that day. And I tell you what, folks, we ended up we're partnering with the CVB and Travco, and we are going to be doing live coverage of the broomball tournament that weekend. So Amber, Caldy, myself will be out there. We're going to get a nice warm ice house that we can sit right on next to the ice, so that we don't get too cold, because once again, it's expected to be like the teens that day. But we'll have more information on that as we get going. With that, we're going to take one more break here. We'll hear the news, and then Dylan Thompson is here with Fishing with Dylan. So you'll be getting to hear what's going on out there. So we'll be right back with more Tiger Sports Saturday here live from Albert Lea Hy-Vee.
It's my must-go-to farm meeting. That is a statement from an attendee of our annual Ag Summit. Hi, I'm Tom Sorensen, Agency Director of America Insurance Group. The A-Team and I want to invite you to the 26th Annual Ag Summit to be held at Wedgwood Cove in Albert Lea on February 5th at 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We will have an array of presentations and vendor booths, followed by lunch. You will have to RSVP by calling our office at 507-377-2000 or going to our website at americainsurance.com.
The Austin Bruins took 4 points against the Minnesota Mallards at home this weekend with a weekend sweep at Riverside Arena. Now the Bruins head up to Forest Lake for the first time this season for 2 more games on the road against the Minnesota Mallards. Puck drop is 7 o'clock both Friday and Saturday, and you can catch those games on NAHLTV.com or at the official road game destination of your Austin Bruins, Lansing Corners on Highway 218.
The friendly staff at Albert Lee's Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union reminds you that when you're in need of a home that satisfies your financial needs, let Trades and Labor Credit Union make it easy with checking services, debit cards, home equity loans, and savings options that will earn you more for your money. Visit Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union on Albert Lee's friendly south side. Open 6 days a week with social distancing for your safety and theirs. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, providing financial services since 1958.
Save more at Hy-Vee. Earn fuel saver rewards on over 1,000 items at your Albert Lee Hy-Vee with your Hy-Vee Perks card. Don't have a card? Sign up today. It's free. Go to Hy-Vee.com/perks.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
CBS News Brief. A big snow and a big chill in the southeast. A winter storm warning up for Virginia Beach where it feels like 9 degrees. CBS's Skylar Henry is there.
City officials saying that they are taking the necessary steps to make sure that people are as safe as possible, but they're also urging travelers to stay off the roads as well, concerned about visibility and slick roads.
The National Weather Service says winds could gust as high as 60. When the Senate did this...
The yeas are 71. The nays are 29. The bill, as amended, has passed.
It helped avoid a complete government shutdown. The vote only funds DHS for 2 weeks because of the outcry over the Minneapolis immigration crackdown shootings.
2 dead left to die on snow-filled streets. Alex Pretty and Renee.
Bruce Springsteen singing the song he wrote this past week at a benefit concert for them last night in Minneapolis. CBS News Brief. I'm Peter King.
Here's your Power 96 weather update. Daytime highs approaching 16 today. Under sunny skies, southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tonight. Snow likely. Lows dip down to about 10 above. Overcast tomorrow. Snow likely. Highs level off around 30. 1 to 2 inches of snow tonight through tomorrow. That's your Power 96 weather update. I'm meteorologist Paul Frombley. Right now, 8 above.
Hi, this is Dave Nelson, account executive at Power 96. Thanks for keeping it local. I had it all set up too, and it overrode you. I had it all set up for Dylan Thompson, Fishing with Dylan.
Well, why tease it when you can have the real thing?
That is true. I'm going to try to find this again to see if I can hit it real quick. Just because we got time here, and I know you got a lot to talk about. Of course, you went down south for
did the little
bit.
Mexico trip since the last visit. That was super nice. We ended up booking a little catamaran ride out to this reef and snorkeled. We saw some sea turtles, coral, jellyfish, all kinds of fun stuff. It was absolutely gorgeous down there. I recommend anybody go beat the winter blues with our neighbors south of the border. It was wonderful.
And of course, you were 90 degrees difference in probably temperature?
When we got on the plane to come home, the pilot announced 115 degree temp difference between Cancun, and Minneapolis.
Hey, here you go. Listen to this.
Dylan Thompson with Fishing with Dylan. You can hear me on Tiger Sports Saturdays here on Power 96. Thanks for keeping it local.
Yeah.
There we go.
See, have you heard that yet? Is this your first time hearing that one?
Well, I've heard it a couple times here and there, but
Nice.
you don't get me on there super often.
So it rotates.
Do I need to call Ron and complain?
Yeah, you probably could. So we've got a ton of, and actually I got to add in more, but yeah, we try to keep different local people and to play it through. So
Yeah,
it
it's
constantly
fun.
rotates through. But I know everybody always likes to hear themselves on the radio. And
Yeah.
So like I said, you went down there, did the catamaran, did all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And
Lots of bevies.
Now you're back in.
Now we're back. Got back, went to the Wild Game Tuesday against the Blackhawks. That was an absolute blast. I will say we were down 3-0 about halfway through the second period, and I looked at my wife and the guy that come with us, said, should we just go across the street? At least the cocktails are cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And then we scored a goal, and I was like, well, let's wait and see. And third period, we tied her up, went through a little overtime, and Kirill the Thrill, top shelf, the guy to win the shootout 1-0.
I know Mr. Ron Hunter there. He's a big Blackhawks fan, and
Oh,
it was a rough day for him on Wednesday after that loss.
Yeah, well,
the
Blackhawks had our number for a long time.
Yes.
I think we can go ahead and take a few back. So sorry, Ron, not.
So you did that on Tuesday, and then Thursday you had a pretty neat experience up in Otana.
Yeah, Thursday we went to the Tiger Wrestling meet against the Otana Huskies. Teddy wrestled in some of the early matches. Caught a draw with a kid that has had his number all year, and Teddy didn't win, but he took the kid to task and held his own. So
Nice.
it was nice to see him improve from early in the season, right? It's always a good thing. And as far as the varsity match, that Owatonna gym, how they set up the wrestling meets, was absolutely fantastic. They dim all the lights and put a spotlight above the center of the wrestling mat, and it has a very college-y feel to it. Super nice. Everybody was pumped. There may have been some officiating complaints, but our boys wrestled real hard and came away with a hard-fought win. I don't remember the specific score right now, but it was 50-something to 22.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there, which is still
56
a
or 22.
great night for the Albertley Tigers.
And one of our older boys' friends spends a ton of time at our house. We call him our fifth kid. He had a hard-fought match and came out on top, and that was a lot of fun to see. That's Mr. Jace Houston wrestling at 152 pounds. So that was fun to watch him fight through that and work his butt off to take one.
Yeah, and when you were talking about that earlier, I think it was Manly. So Glenville Emmons, we did, wrestled down in Iowa quite a bit, and I think it was Manly that would have the spotlight above it. And
sure.
And I remember my brother-in-law, when he'd come watching, did you count how many lights were on the ceiling? Well, it's easy because there's just one on that one.
Yeah.
It was always a joke how many lights were in the ceiling,
Right.
on your back quite a bit. But yeah, like I said, that was a pretty neat experience, and especially for the fans when they can come away with something like that. Not only did the Tigers get the win, but you also got that experience too to watch that.
Yeah, and you can tell both fan bases are super passionate. The energy was just through the roof. It was a ton of fun. I will say that 2 intense sporting events a week is probably more than my voice appreciates.
Yep.
But yeah, I get a little animated, right?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So speaking of animated, how animated are the fish out there right now? Have you heard?
Yeah, some. So State Line has a good pike bite going on, and they're going to do that little northern tournament week from tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday, I think from 11 to 1 or something. I don't remember the exact times, and that's going to benefit the State Line Lake Association. They've come a long ways. I think we talked about that the last time. Somebody just texted me LOL, you never get animated. Yeah, well.
That's funny.
So State Line Lake has come such a long way. Like I said, I think we talked about that last time I was here, and it's nice to see the grassroots involvement to try to get some of these lakes improved and create some fisheries. Because, like we said, more opportunity is more opportunity, and good for everybody around. So if you got a couple hours free next Saturday, drive down to Emmons. I think we're going to have a couple rangers transporting people out on the ice.
Nice.
And, yeah, it'll be a fun time.
And, of course, the 14th, the Big Freeze, they'll have the ice fishing tournament here in town.
Yes.
On Fountain Lake. And it's been a couple weeks since we had talked, and I don't know, I don't believe we've talked since the beach access was opened. So obviously now the big houses are out there.
Yep, I saw some trucks on the lake this week. That's a good sign. Again, safety. Check your ice before you even walk out there, right? But yeah, I'm seeing some pickups out there, so that's a good sign. You should be okay to start venturing out. But I'm going to say it 1,000 times till people are like, you're dumb. Be safe.
Yeah.
Safety never takes a holiday.
So I know it's 17 plus inches of ice, and probably even more now after this last couple of weeks.
Well, and there's no real snow cover, so if it's cold, it's just going to make ice. So,
and I know I was one of those guys that always used to get scared when you hear cracking. Cracking is good.
Cracking
means
is good.
That the more ice is building.
It's growing. Yep.
But yeah, I know. Like I said, with some of the big ice houses out there, people kind of have their spots.
Oh yeah.
They do. Every year you almost see the same houses in the same spots, but the one big thing is we talked about some of those maybe deeper areas or with some of the shelter.
I'm going to say again that lake has changed so much in the last few years since the dredging projects that, some of those, if people are still having luck in their traditional spots, that's fantastic. And that spot by the Hatch Bridge, with the way that works and the current coming through it, will probably traditionally always be a good spot. But there's other areas in the lake you need to be checking out. The weed beds, the rock piles, they really have done a lot of that stuff. Adding all that habitat and the weeds coming in, it's completely different. So put your Dora the Explorer pants on and go find you a new honey hole.
Yes.
And, make some new memories, right?
Well, and we talked, and I haven't been down to really see Channel, how busy that's been, but I know we did see some houses down there.
After we talked about it, a couple people went down there, and I have heard some good reports from that. And if you check the stocking data on the lake, there's walleyes in Albertley Lake.
Yeah.
We're kind of heading into the next boom cycle on that body of water, I believe. So go down there. I would love to reminisce and see the carnival in the Channel again. That's what I used to call it when there was 100 houses down there. Always had a lot of fun.
And I want to say that it's been probably the last time it got really crazy there was one of the last years a vehicle fell through the ice.
Sure.
Because once again, you have people that don't
there's
understand.
Current there.
Yes. So, as you get further in towards the old farmstead site.
Yep.
Got to be very careful because there's a natural spring also that comes out of there. So that's going to have the warmer water. That's why a lot of times it doesn't freeze.
Right.
So if you're going to be driving out, especially in the Channel, do not drive towards that other bridge.
Right.
Don't do it. It's definitely not safe. And that's where we normally see vehicles go in is going to be in that area.
Yep.
You're a hunter as well with this new, and I believe I just did a report on it. I think it might be the 12th of February is when they're going to have the meeting about whether to stay strictly a shotgun only hunting zone or the rifle.
So, very interesting story about why this area became a shotgun only zone, and people thought it was because rifles could shoot too far, right? And it was a safety issue. That is not entirely the truth.
No.
Part of the rationale behind making this shotgun only zone was for the deer.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have a very large population of whitetails in the whenever that rule was enacted.
1942.
Yes, I was going to say the 40s.
Yeah.
So in 1942, when they enacted that rule, it was for the deer's sake, not the people, because the population was super low. Well, now we have a lot of whitetails, and making that change should increase harvest opportunities significantly. And I'm a choice person. Anytime you have a choice, it's good for you to use whichever method you prefer. I will personally stick with my shotgun. I dressed one up a couple years ago, and it shoots plenty far, and I like it. And I made it, so it's fun, right? Accessorize the old 870, and she'll shoot 100 yards pretty good. So that's plenty for me.
Well, and that's, a lot of people now are bringing up the safety aspect of it. You know, if you're a hunter, you normally know your areas. But I get it. As humans are sometimes stupid, they don't make the best decisions, and that's the biggest, I think, would be threat.
Sure.
Is to, if they do change it to where unless they keep it the shotgun, it's just know where you're at, know where you're hunting. I mean,
What's
obviously,
the first rule of hunter safety? Be sure of your target and what is beyond.
Correct.
Right. And as long as we all stick to that, we shouldn't have any issues. Don't shoot over the top of a hill.
Yep.
Know
exactly.
what's behind your target, and everything should be fine.
And that's the thing. You talked about the population, and recently, and I've been hearing more and more, like even in town, the deer, they're out looking for food.
There are whitetails around here, big time.
I can't remember who it was the other night. Had said there 3 in their yard.
Do you want to
Just out
stir
looking
up
for
some
food.
controversy?
Sure.
You know what I really want to see? An antler point restriction. I think that would pay dividends around here, that it would be mind-blowing.
Yep.
We have the appropriate habitat. We have the appropriate food sources. If we had a 4-point on one side antler restriction, a lot of these younger deer would get a pass for at least a season, and you would see the quality of buck improve around here in mind-blowing way. So anybody who's listening, jump on Power 96 Facebook or Fishing with Dylan and tell us what you think about that. I'd be interested to hear the community's thoughts.
Well, and it gets to that same point of like fishing with slots.
Yeah.
It's to increase the size of the product.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
Overall quality.
Yeah.
It would improve. And with the amount of does we have around here, if you are hunting for subsistence or food, if that's your paramount objective, then go ahead and harvest a large adult doe, right? There's no shame in that.
And I think a lot of times, from what I've seen too, is if they do have an antler limit, it's a lot of times you have open doe in those areas because of that fact.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of people. I have friends, and I don't know if there's listening, Willie and Diana, that's their meat for the year. They stock their, anytime they can stock their freezer, that's what they're doing, because they don't like going out and paying $7 for a pound of hamburger or
Beef
whatever.
is getting up there.
Which Hy-Vee has it for $4.98.
Oh, that's a good deal.
I think it was $4.98. I'm just gonna look at it again here. $4.98 a pound for the ground chuck. 85% lean, 15% fat from the service case. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, and no different than fishing too, and when people like go up north, you're there for the camaraderie and to catch a trophy, but a lot of times people are bringing back their walleye for their freezer for the year too.
Yep. It's no different than the 1/20 is part of your bag limit. And in the walleye limit, they're talking about changing.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're going to go down to 4 statewide, and I think that's a good thing too. Anything you can do to protect our resources and create a better overall population is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I will always advocate for that. So.
And that only, like I said, improves as laws are kind of in that aspect, and people
Absolutely.
are being smart. Especially, I've been hearing, not so much on Fountain Lake, but a few other lakes, that after people fish for the weekend, they're leaving a mess out on the ice,
And,
and
yeah,
that's
we
one thing
can't
we
have
don't want to
that.
have, because that is going to ruin the lakes.
Right.
So yeah, it's not only an eyesore, but those fish get. I mean, it goes down and
Right.
it hurts all that.
People get all wound up about me saying we should have an antler point restriction, or that I'm happy about lowering the walleye bag limit, but then they'll leave all their cigarette butts and garbage on the ice.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're that person,
Yeah.
don't
and
even
so,
bother.
Yeah, don't. Like I said, don't do that. And like I said, I haven't really seen any posts from Albert Lee. So a lot of our outdoors people are pretty respectful.
I think so.
But like I said, that is one thing. Some of these bigger, especially like a tournament.
Yep.
After the tournament, and that's why some of these lakes don't want to do some of these tournaments anymore, because of the fact of all the trash left on it, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, they used to have that huge one up in Walker, the Eel Pout Fest.
Yeah.
And the city finally put their foot down and said, "This is just a mess. There's trash everywhere. We don't want to put up with it anymore." And they quit issuing the permit.
Yeah. Have you ever caught an eel pout?
No,
I've
I
not
want
either.
to real bad.
I have friends that have done it, and just slimy, and they just I don't.
I heard they're absolutely delicious, though.
Can be, is what I've heard. You
Yeah.
got to cook them right. It's like bullhead. Are you a bullhead fan?
My grandpa used to make them for me when I was a kid.
I've always been. I didn't mind it as long as it was fresh, cold water.
Right.
You know, you got early
August
spring.
is not the time to eat
No.
them.
Yeah, they get really muddy and.
You know,
What does
I've
that
eaten
taste?
carp a multitude of times, and everybody always tells me, "Well, mine's a little different. It's good. You're gonna like it." And I eat it every time, and it always tastes like mud. Every time. And I will, if anybody got carp recipe, bring it out. I will try it. But if it tastes like mud, I'm gonna shake my head at you.
Yeah, I
'cause-
know smoked carp.
Yeah.
I've had people do that, and sometimes there's so much seasoning on there that you can't
Taste the
taste
mud?
it. You can't even taste the fish. You're
Right.
tasting the seasoning.
Maybe that's the secret.
Well, and someone had made some carp jerky or whatever it was, and it's like it's weird, you know, really kind of chewy. You could tell it wasn't beef jerky,
Right.
You know,
Definitely not. Yeah.
but yeah, it's just everybody has their little recipes, and same thing. We haven't even. I know you had talked to her all back, but Northerns, like I said, especially with that Northern tournament.
Yeah.
Get your recipes out. If you're gonna, we talked about it last night. We
Pickle
had
them things up.
Pickled.
It's
and,
delicious.
Especially with the bones, as it sits there, it just
Yeah, they
dissolves your
dissolve the bones. It's all good.
I know.
My wife loves pickled fish. I'll eat it. Not my favorite thing, but
To me, so one of the best things, and I can't even think now. The guy Paul Almond.
okay.
And he used to always do pickled crappie and perch.
There we go.
And you talk about
Your eyes just glazed
oh,
over.
gosh.
Is it that good?
It is melt in your mouth.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, so good. Sometimes Northern, when people do them, sometimes they get a little chewy.
Yeah. Bigger
that's just
fish,
that's
yeah.
just how it tends to be. But yeah, that pickled perch, crappie. Oh, like I said, just
Crappie's so
melt in your mouth.
buttery and flaky. Anyway, that stuff is fantastic.
Well, and that's the thing too is it's been a while now since I've been out ice fishing, and we're we want to get out there, and there's just nothing better than you take your crappie, clean it up, throw it on a little tin foil or maybe in a baking pan, bake it or grill it, do whatever with the butter, a little bit of my wife has onion mix, but even just fresh onion. Oh,
Lights out.
better than lobster.
Wow.
Well, maybe not.
You heard it here first, folks. Crappie is better than lobster.
I'm gonna.
And you
be
don't even have to go to
controversial.
Maine.
No, I'm gonna be controversial. I'd rather eat crappie than walleye.
Yeah.
I
I've
just would.
said that before. Crappie is my favorite fish to eat.
Even if we go out to eat somewhere and we're looking at walleye or eating, as soon as I catch a bone, I'm done. And some people don't care, but me, once I have a bone, I'm out. I can't do it. It's just something triggers me. I'd rather eat the meat than sit there the whole time pulling out the bones.
How can you complain about a pre-installed toothpick? I'm
when
kidding.
When it gets
No.
caught in your throat,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
good.
I get
I
it.
think that's what
I'm
happened when I was
teasing.
younger.
Yep.
I think I ended up getting a bone stuck in my throat, and from that point on, I just can't do it. So
Yep,
once I have
I
a
get
bone,
you.
done with.
Done with.
But yeah, like I said, have you, so as far as fishing out there, things like that, have you heard anything as far as any hot tips, as far as jigs? Anybody been coming in saying that? I know, yeah,
The
obviously at North Star.
tungsten stuff is the way to go. You can get that presentation in the same weight as lead, 2/3 smaller or something, and that can be a really big deal. And the difference between turning lookers into biters, right? Shrinking up that presentation. And they fall fast and show up better on your electronics. So I'm a huge advocate of tungsten. Wonder Bread's always a good color, chartreuse, glow, all that stuff.
Wonder Bread?
Wonder Bread. It's a white base with a polka dot paint on it, like a bag of Wonder Bread.
Never heard that said before. I'll have to.
Oh yeah, that's a hot lure configuration paint is the Wonder Bread.
I know, the chartreuse or the pink sometimes, and that's the thing is, once again, if you're going to be out fishing, don't settle just for one color.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're going to bite on each day.
Right. It can change a little bit.
So get out and get the Wonder Bread. Is it actually called Wonder Bread? Or
Yes.
Is it
I'm not even making that up.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
have
real
to
thing.
run up to up north and go get so it's a Wonder Bread.
They make it in jigs. They make it in spoons. They make it.
Oh.
It's a pattern, and it looks just like the Wonder Bread bag.
That is crazy.
It's the get.
Learn something new, folks.
Yeah.
Well, maybe people out there didn't know what it was, but I did not know that. So as far as with the lakes, things like that, kind of busy. Be safe. I know you've been really busy, especially with North Star.
Boat
you guys,
sales are picking up. I sold 2 boats today.
Yeah.
I wasn't even late. It went really smooth. People are, I would still say I've gotten a lot of calls and people that are just kind of starting the search, but people are definitely starting to commit. And if we purchase now or order early, you're going to beat that spring rush and make sure your boat's ready by opener.
And as cold as it is, people aren't even thinking about it, but you need to start thinking about
It's time to start thinking about it. Or if you want to upgrade your electronics, now's a good time to come in and start consulting on that stuff and make those decisions. So if you need help with rigging, time comes, you can have it ready to go for opener, and you're not sitting there looking at your watch and calling North Star 3 times. Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Get ahead of the game if you can. It's a good way to go. Matter of fact, we just scheduled out at North Star our customer appreciation open house boat show party that we do every year. I think we're February 21st is the big day. We're going to have some special guests. I'll confirm
Fishing
that.
with Dylan's going to be there?
Fishing with Dylan will be there. Fishing with Dylan will be there. We got a couple other tricks up our sleeve, too, as far as that. As always, we'll have food, door prizes, a couple seminars, all that kind of great stuff. I think we're going to have something going on Friday, too. It was very busy last year on the one day, so we're going to have lunch Friday also. So the 20th and 21st, come out, check out your boat. Start looking at new stuff, and if you're in the market, now's the time. The rebates are the best they're going to be. They'll start dropping off here at the end of February, and you're going to pay more the closer you get to spring open water time.
And the thing is, there's nothing better than getting your Valentine a new boat.
That's what my wife told me a couple years ago. Or maybe I told her.
Flowers wither.
Flowers wither.
Boats do not.
Boats don't wither. I hope she's listening right now.
Yeah, my wife is probably listening too, and she's like, "We're not getting a boat." Of course, we had the boats and the pontoons and the docks and all that stuff back in the day, and
sure,
it was fun. But it's always nicer when you can go with a friend that has to deal with all that stuff and
our pre-owned stuff covers a wide range of budgets. I mean, yeah.
Well, and that's just it. Especially even if maybe you don't want to go out and spend a ton. The pre-owned stuff right now too, now's the time to do it, because when you get into that spring, that's when people are really looking to push, and wanting to buy, and prices sometimes go up a little bit as far as the pre-owned stuff, because the market gets a little hotter than at that point.
Right. So past, present, or potential customer appreciation boat show, come on out. February 20th and 21st.
And I think Jerry, he just might have got the spots for that. Or I know we'll be having the spot to be playing on Power 96 as well. So
okay.
So yeah, you'll be able to hear all that. What else is going on out there? Okay, obviously it's It's extremely cold.
It's supposed to warm up this week. I'm excited to put my shorts back on.
Ron and I talked
30.
about this. Warm up. Is it going to hit 30?
They're threatening me.
I
walked
20
through the
degrees is
parking
still
lot
cold.
today, and it was like 6 this morning, and I was
so
like,
cold.
There's no wind. This feels great. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, and then, like I said, obviously 1 to 2 inches of snow tonight, or through tonight. We heard that. So, but yeah, get on out. Like I said, there's a lot of opportunities to get out there and ice fish.
Still some exciting Tiger sporting events coming up here next few weeks.
Monday night we're going to be doing the boys hockey. I'm still waiting. I still haven't seen nothing as far as girls for the sections.
Sure.
From what I was told is and this is just what I was told, is they were locked in number 2.
Okay.
Dodge County is obviously 1.
Yeah.
So more than likely we'll have a bye the first game. So this Thursday and then Saturday is more than likely kind of their boys. We be right around the corner too. The boys season's wrapping down. Basketball season starting to wrap down. Wrestling starting to wrap down.
We're getting toward the end of that. And if you've never been to a high school hockey or wrestling meet, check it out. It's intense. It's fun. It's exciting. Those kids lay it all on the line. You will enjoy yourself. Come check out our young athletes.
It's so much fun. But yeah, Dylan, I want to thank you for stopping in today. Of course, we're getting close to that noon hour.
Ooh,
you got a busy day. I want to thank all of our sponsors, especially Hy-Vee. Once again, get out here. Like I said, get your flowers for your Valentine, or go out and see Dylan at North Star and get your Valentine a.
We're gonna have to make an ad about this, the Valentine boat.